Hello, everyone. Seems mainstream media has finally woken up and admitting renewable mania is actually causing the problem of energy and it is not a solution. Now, renewables themselves are not problem, it's actually the implementation of renewables energy that is the issue here. So let's go through this article. Media giant Bloomberg has published an article conceding and substantiating almost every single point we have made over the years. Europe sleepwalked into an energy crisis that could last years, screams the headline. The article concludes that the crisis was years in making because Europe is shutting down coal fired electricity plants and increasing its reliance on renewables. Now, there is nothing wrong with shutting down coal fired power plants, doing your virtue signaling. The issue is have the alternative source ready first before you shut down the conventional sources. And when you are building that alternative source, make sure that it is reliable enough and can produce the electricity in quantity enough to fulfill the needs. And that's where the whole implementation is bad. Bloomberg still pulls its punches and misdescribes the situation in some ways. Article mislabels the deployment of renewables as an energy transition similar to past transitions from wood to coal, coal to natural gas, failing to acknowledge that the poor physics of energy dilute renewables makes that impossible. So according to this article, the renewables are can never replace these alternatives because they are not very energy dense. Um, I mean, it is possible in current scenario because a lot of these renewables are not extremely efficient. But going forward, as technology progresses, this can definitely change. And it suggests that Europe's energy crisis is the result of ignorance. The energy crisis hit the bloc, notes a renewable energy PR person when security of supply was not on the menu of EU policymakers, ignoring the reality that I and other warned EU policymakers of this very crisis. Yep, as I just said, they need to secure that alternative source first before they can think on shutting down the conventional source of supply. But to its credit, the article acknowledges that the energy crisis is a direct result of Europe over-investing in unreliable renewables and under-investing in reliable energy sources. Yep, 100% right. Now, a new analysis from Environmental Progress finds Germany increased its emissions last year and will likely increase them again this year. This year, Germany's electricity generation coming from fossil fuel will be 44% compared to 39% in 21 and 37% in 20. So basically, be, they move to renewables, or Germany moved to renewables thinking, it will reduce the emissions, but the unreliability of the renewable sources has actually increased the emissions from 20 to 21 and 21 to 22. Well, actually, sorry, from 19 to 20 and from 20 to 21. So it has kind of become a problem for Germany. Bloomberg notes that Europe is in a full blown energy crisis. The retired salt caverns, aquifers, and fuel depots that hold energy, Europe's stockpiles of natural gas have never been so empty at this point in winter, it notes. And the continent is grappling with supply crunch that's caused benchmark gas prices to more than quadruple from last year's levels, squeezing businesses and households. Yep, prices have shot up. Gas prices, if I recall, went all the way up to 180 euros, and they were down to just around 60 or 70 recently, but they have gone this morning up all the way to 100 euros. It is true that American natural gas from fracking, a practice I have defended since 2013, is being shipped to Europe and will ease Europe's pain, but notes Bloomberg that relief provided by American LNG is temporary at best. Storage sites are only 56% full, more than point 15 percent points below the 10-year average, barring the increase in Russian exports, something that doesn't appear to be on the cards. Levels will be at least less than 15% by the end of March, lowest on record. While the two coldest months of winter still ahead, fear is that Europe may run out of gas. Um, they may not run out of gas, but they will have to increase prices. And if they increase prices, then either through pipelines or potentially through tankers, um, gas may be available. Or it's possible they may run out of gas. Tankers may not be in enough quantity to fulfill the needs if there is colder months ahead. The lack of nuclear energy underscores the need for more nuclear plants since they are reliable and operate independently of weather when they are managed well. No matter how well a solar farm is managed, it can't change the weather. Yep, 100% agree. And Germany instead is shutting down their nuclear plants. I think I did a video other day. Of the last six, they have shut down the three, and the remaining three will be shut down this year. So yeah, there you have it. Finally, mainstream is admitting that we don't need to follow the renewable sources blindly. We need to be smart about them. We need to pick and choose what sources of energy are good for base load and what are good for peak power, and have a mix of them. Well, thanks for listening. Please share, subscribe, like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.